Thank you, Madam Chair. I've heard almost everything in this committee. When I started, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, the Republicans, would say that climate change didn't exist. Last year, in the beginning of the pandemic, they were trying to make arguments and convince Dr. Fauci that COVID-19 wasn't as deadly as just the normal flu. Yeah, that sounds as preposterous as that sounds. That's the argument that they were making just last year. And now we have 530,000 Americans who have died of COVID-19. On an average year, anywhere from 30 to 60,000 Americans die from the flu. But they were making that argument. And now the argument we're hearing is that they're trying to make the argument that the gender pay gap doesn't exist. And if it does, it's really small. And if it does exist, it's because women made certain choices. And I want to be very, very clear for everyone out there. Until there is a choice that a man can have babies and women don't have to have the babies, then there's no real choice at all, right? At all. So this is something that they're trying to convince people, is that these choices have led to this decision. I think it is completely preposterous. Also, women have been fighting to create equal pay and equal benefits and to have the same kind of status in their employment as men for decades. I used to work for a nurses association, the United Nurses Association of California. They formed in 1972. And the reason why they formed is because the doctors had healthcare benefits and dental benefits, and they did not. Nurses that worked for Kaiser did not have dental benefits back in 1972. Simple things like that right now would be like, duh, but those disparities existed. And then even if you look at different programs out there, you see those disparities. Also, my colleagues, they talk about how they want flexibility. People want flexibility. Why does only flexibility matter when it comes to a woman and not a man? Nobody ever asked the man, hey, do you want flexibility so you can take time off, take care of a sick family member or a child? Nobody asked the man that. But when it comes to women, that's the one factor that they care most about, which is preposterous, right? Because we've seen that when we give choices, even in California where we expanded paid family leave, that women take it at a higher rate than men. I'm proud to say that men are starting to take it more and more and more, which is great. But it's still the caregiving. When somebody gets sick, it is women that take that burden. So you take them out of the workforce. So it is preposterous. And then when they had a chance to help millions of women by raising the minimum wage, they voted en masse against it, right? So when my mother was working 4 or 5 jobs a week, it wasn't much of a choice because we were struggling on 100% of her salary to make ends meet, to put food on the table and a roof over our head. So this whole red herring that it's a choice is just BS, right? BS.